Hey everybody, how we doing today? Yes, getting after it. T. Yes,
It's more like multitasking.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. Are you on a
Being
train
efficient.
or rollers?
Trainer.
Okay, okay, cool. All right. We've got our Kona edition. We've got the women racing in Kona this week. Um, I, I'm still not sure how I feel about separating it out and having, one Ironman world champion, or two Ironman world championships in two different spots. I actually like the opportunity that they present, but not necessarily the fact that it's bifurcated into it's two different continents this year. I love the fact that more people are able to race and feel the experience. But I did not like the fact that it was 2 days, two separate days, like a Thursday and a Saturday a couple of years ago. I just thought that it put too much pressure on the local community because there's a big strain on these local communities, especially in Hawaii. You're on an island. I don't know if you guys know this, but the school kids in the schools will not have school that week for Ironman week. And that's why you'll see a lot of times the Ironman World Championships, the aid stations will be manned by, or yes, it's not manned. It's what is it? Personed by all the school kids, and they really get into it. And each like kind of different schools will take over different aid stations. And when they had it on two separate days, it was really hard. They actually end up removing a lot of aid stations because they couldn't have enough personnel for the stations, and it ended up being fewer and farther in between. Back in the day, when they used to have aid stations in Hawaii, where you could ride with like maybe a bottle in between your arms and a bottle behind your saddle and not have anything on board, like on your frame, and be fine, because it would be like this rolling buffet. You grab water, then any calories that you need, which kind of segues nicely into your process of an aid station. What I like to do for any aid station is I'll kind of know, okay, so for half Ironman, that it's going to be about basically the ones that have 3 aid stations will be at 15, 30, and 45. And if you know that it's got 3 aid stations and it's got, you can see it up the road, you kind of do a personal inventory. Has anything been injected? That's kind of your number one replacement thing. And I just do like, what am I craving, or what's on board first? Do I have everything I need? And then the next is, what am I craving? And if I'm good to go, then I just stay wide and I don't take anything. If I need something, then I will I'll have it in my mind, and I'll shout it out. And sometimes you'll have a volunteer kind of step out and you slow down for either it's water or Gatorade or whatever it may be, but always doing the personal inventory. And I think what would be kind of fun. Sorry, that was my little aid station. And I also do the same thing on the run, my little aid station tricks and tips. So while we're chatting, what I'd love to see in the comments section is your guys' picks for this weekend and the race. Maybe let's say your top 3 podium picks, and throw them up in the chat along with any other questions that we may or may not hit along the way. Daniel, you are bundled up. You have a toque on. Is it getting cold up at 10,000 feet?
Yeah, it was a little warmer today than it has been. It was like 29 this morning when I went out, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah, rocking and rolling.
Dig it.
Yeah. You dove right into it here, huh?
Yeah, I did. I got a little itchy, and I was like, I'm going for it. And I gave my opinion on the 2-day split in Kona. The jury's out on this 2 different locations for men and women for me.
What do you think? Guys, you said it already, didn't you?
I don't know yet. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is one thing to experience it, and then another to just be a passive observer.
Yep.
I like the fact that it's you're going to get a potentially a different winner because of different skill sets required. This main skill set of, can you stay focused for what is now becoming 470 minutes. 500 minutes is 8 hours and 20 minutes. So you're looking at like winners are winning around 740, 750 for an Ironman. I like the fact that it's different conditions. It's not always the lava fields, and just how you tolerate the extreme heat coming at you from all four directions, on top, on bottom, on left, on right. But then again, there's something to be said for it's always in Hawaii, and it's not a surprise. You know what you're getting. Can you, let's say it's not your main skill set to dissipate heat as a larger human, you can learn and you can train and you can teach your body just like you can for anything else in life. You can train towards the needs and demands situated around a race. And that's also kind of what makes the Olympics exciting. Every 4 years, it's in a different location, different requirements, dynamic conditions as well. Sometimes when it comes to like something like pool swimming, they kind of governance of the swimming world has deemed it so they want to sterilize the sport as much as possible. And by that, I mean, everybody gets their own space. Everybody gets lane eaters for lane lines at the higher levels. At some of the lower levels, it's just sometimes a rope. And everybody has the same temperature in the water and nobody impedes. And that's great. I love that aspect of swimming. But then you look at something like track or triathlon, you have the conditions are unknown, they're dynamic, they're moving, and your space isn't always protected. So I like that aspect too.
Are you still talking about this? I like fell asleep 10 minutes ago. What the hell is going on? No, I'm only kidding. You're good.
You're a jerk.
All right, all right, last question on this real quick.
Yeah.
Do you like that the women's field and the men field are separate? Like, I don't like it just feels really weird to me personally. Like the men's race was a month ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it was in Europe too, so it was harder to follow. It felt like it came and went. And maybe for the Europeans, that's how Kona's always felt for them. So maybe this is really good for the European market too, when the race moves there. I just feel like it's a bigger deal when everyone's together. Again, I'm not a woman, so I can't really say like if they'd rather have it that way or not, but I don't know.
Yeah, I like it when the sport gets a lot of attention and people pay attention to it. That's why when it's together, we can get more engagement and more eyeballs. I don't want it to be what you're seeing in the non or outside of the World Championship piece is kind of like a dilution of and too much inventory of Ironman racing. So the vibe isn't as good at a singular Ironman. And I worry that in our quest for trying to make things bigger and better, that we've kind of lost that. Let's make the main thing.
Yeah. Yes, Jeff, you're right. The women do deserve their own day, and so do the men, I guess. The capacity issue for Kona is difficult, but it's also because the age group race has swelled so much. It's difficult because there's a lot of people like I used to train and race with a lot of women, and now I can't go to a world championship with them and celebrate with them. For the business side of it, it's really difficult because you have organizations that have to make choices. Do I go to the men's race or the women's race? Because you can't do both. Like for For an average company that doesn't even like set up a booth and activate, to go to Kona is about a $10,000 to $20,000 endeavor. If you have a booth and activate, you could be upwards of like 40, 50K. To do that twice in a month for 2 different events, it's really expensive. So it makes it hard to make it a big deal for everyone. And it is a big deal. All right, Andy, I'm gonna just do something real quick here. For everyone that's on this call for the first time, welcome. These calls vary in what we do. Sometimes Andy and I just ramble a lot about random things and just we ask them random questions and we go from there. Others, we just field all your questions. Most of the time, we have a topic we cover in one capacity or another. It's usually educational. But so this call is your call as much as ours. So if there's things that are going on that you want answers to, you can ask them during them. You can email them into us, or you could hop up on the chat. Or you just raise your hand. All right. Today, the name of the game is we're going to answer any team logistic questions have for new people or old people. We're going to talk about a few things, and we're really going to dive into Kona for anyone that's going to Kona. The course, the conditions, answer your questions, things like that. So if you're not going to Kona, I'll give you a little insight. If you are, great. If you're on your trainer, keep on getting after it. Let's go, Tara. Whoop-de-whoop. Sarah, why are you not on your trainer right now? Come on. Also, one thing we're working on right now, as an aside, is we're putting together a virtual race team for this year for Zwift. So we're going to have an AP Racing Zwift team. Last year we did some workouts. This year we'll do workouts and we'll have a racing team. I think all races will be on Tuesday nights. And if you are a coached athlete, you should, if you're not, you should be, or a plan athlete, it'll be built right into your training, which is awesome.
Yeah.
We're going to,
that building in the workouts is something we are gearing more for expectation wise. And then also, if you know that that's something that you like, you could choose to be coached by one of us. And
yeah. Oh, and one other thing, 2 other things on this. First, for all your friends who haven't joined yet, some of them are worried they had to be coached by us. They don't have to. That's not how this works. But they should be. So tell them to come over, and then we'll just convince them to get coached. I'm only kidding. No pressure. But really, for real, there's pressure. No pressure. The other thing is we will be sending out on the next day for everyone going to Kona a schedule of events that the ladies who are going put together. Amazing. It's fully packed. Do anything and everything you want or nothing. And we're going to have separate calls in the next week or so for anyone to join. Informational calls about our camps, specifically Majorca, because it's confusing. Probably for a few of the other camps too, like the swim and ski camp and a few others. And then we will have a separate call just for the crew because there's a few things that are specific just to them. Yeah, so that's what I got. So you got questions, let me know. Let's go, Kirsten. Kona 2024, raise that hand. I love your avatar. Let's go. All right, so you got questions, throw them up there. Otherwise, Potts, you ready to dive in?
let's do this.
All right, so Kona, race week. Question number 1. How important is it race week to go to every single event and function and get all the swag and work out really hard the entire week? Because that's what you see when you go there. So go.
My favorite thing is to watch people jam on a leahy like they're like nobody's business. And usually when you see it, they aren't racing. Like if they're crushing it, they're just, they're not racing. Sometimes you'll see some racers out there. I guess point number 1, if you're going to go and do any familiarization, be very careful on the Queen K. Just do your usual due diligence. Also on a leahy, it's just very busy with cars. And just be super careful. Always head on a swivel. And in your anticipatory skills, have them on point. Next.
Wait, one thing on that. If you are going to ride from downtown to the Queen K, do not go up a leahy. ride your bike towards the pool. It's right past the host hotel where the banquet is. Go towards the pool, and then you'll be able to make a right-hand turn right by the pool, and it goes past the Target and the other stores are over there, and you make a left onto the Queen K. It's much safer than going up a Leahy and trying to make that left that way.
So I think Daniel means going up Palani, and what you want to do
Palani, sorry, Palani, yes.
is do Makala.
Yes.
Okay. So, I wanted to also say, if race week, I really do think that you have to go with your default disposition as a person and an athlete. If you find that when you're around people, it energizes you and fuels you and excites you, but doesn't deplete you, then you can seek out more and more events. If you're a little bit more introverted and you find social engagement exhausting, then your default needs to be take care of yourself. Don't put yourself out there too much, but get a little bit of a see and a vibe and a feel for the kind of the ethos of the event, and let that carry you through race day.
Yeah.
I do think you need to go with your default disposition.
Yeah, like if you get empowered and feel good by socialization and doing stuff, go do it. The big thing that I don't like to see is like people program their whole day from the moment they wake up. They're like, oh, bike, coffee boat, run, social hour, and it goes on and on. It's really hot in Hawaii and you get really worn out and you don't realize it until it's too late almost. So just be mindful of that as you're going through your day.
Yeah, I think Lava Java, it's Lava Java, they might have a POTS.
They do.
What is it?
It's like the POTS pancake.
They'll have something on the menu with my name.
So if you go there and you get the POTS special, take a picture of it, and then I don't know, maybe we'll do something. Otherwise, we'll just say that's awesome. You got that.
Yeah. Sweet. Yeah. I think one of them is like I think one year we did pot stickers.
Yeah.
It changes all the time.
For anyone that hasn't been there, two more quick little tips. Right, like on the Huggos on the rocks, and Huggos are like on the water over here. There's a little grass area in between. There's a wonderful acai place there. You have to walk up the stairs. It's amazing. It's like a tree house. Fantastic. And then down the road, I know you want to say you love that place. I know.
No, the acai one, you'll find it because it has a line that's about a mile long. Keep going for the other spot.
Yeah, and then like another mile down the road away.
2.5.
Okay, away from downtown, there's an amazing poke place called the Poke Shack. It's fantastic. Right next to the Poke Shack, if you're not racing, is a great little surf spot. And you could paddle out and surf. It's pretty rocky, and there's a hammerhead shark breeding ground there. But don't worry about it. You just swim over them; they don't bother you. It's cool.
Well, that break is a shore break. So if you're in Hawaii, even if you're not racing, you should really learn to look at the ocean and see how the break is happening. This is something that watermen do very well, and something that fishermen do pretty good. But if you're immersed in the water, you learn how to read it, and you can have surfers do this awesome, right? And they learn a break, and they learn where things are stuck, moving, or still. And you can get kind of stuck in the crash zone of a way that waves are setting and breaking. With that breaks in specific, it's a shore break. So you need to time the wave and then get out before the next wave comes in. Otherwise you get pushed back, and then you get pushed down into the sand. So if you can, and you want to go out and swim and you're not racing, and you want to learn how water moves, every break moves differently, and breaks can actually move differently at different times based on the tides. But learning how water moves and how you respond to that movement can really help your awareness in the water and help you with your not gamesmanship, but your positioning and your tactics on race setup. It takes a while to learn this skill, but Hawaii is an awesome place to start developing it.
Yeah. You remember when like in LA when you go out and you'd like lay in the water just to see how far you floated and you'd run 300 yards down the beach and then jump in and you'd be ahead of everyone else and they're like, what are you doing? I actually taught my daughter this whole summer about like how to read waves and read surf because we were on the beach a lot. All right, so let's
Jones Beach in New York is one of the better spots to learn how to read surf because of the undertow.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it kind of shifts because of the sand. Yep. All right. So let's get to the swim. I'm gonna pull the course up so you can see it.
Okay.
So Andy, can you see that there?
Yes, I can. Good
All
job.
right, so why don't you give them the lay of the land?
Okay, so you'll be standing on where it says green start. There's a seawall right there. It's a great place for viewing, but it's also where everybody wants to watch it. And you'll notice the word transition. That's the start of the pier. Underneath the N, there are about 2,000 bikes. Depending on how they position the transition zone, the bike layout could actually spill over onto Ali'i a little bit. That's what they had to do a couple of years ago. So it's ever evolving. It's a deep water start. Right where the green line is for where the bike start is the entry point for your swimming. And you'll swim out maybe 100 meters to the swim start. Usually there's paddle boarders, people on boards, local fishermen, and not fishermen, local lifeguards, and they're paddling back and forth to keep and preserve the start line to be as even and fair as possible. You'll head out and you'll actually go south, but it feels like you're going to go straight out into the ocean. It's hard to notice is that you hug the shoreline for a really long time. And the proximity to the shoreline on the east, I really love the position of positioning myself as far east on the start line and following the shoreline for as long as possible. Once you get to, about a little bit more than halfway out to the 1.9 mile meter mark, 1.9K mark, that's about when you stop seeing land. And then you do feel like you're in the ocean. But for about half of the swim, you can see land on the outbound portion.
Yeah.
And the
You
water
were looking at that white hotel, right? While you doing
yes,
that? Yeah.
yes. I think it's called the Royal Kona.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So at about halfway, you'll notice that you'll know that you're in deeper water too, because you'll stop being able to see the bottom, depending on if it's murky or not. But you can see the bottom for a really long time.
Yeah.
If you're super aware of your surroundings, sometimes you'll see underwater photographers. Sometimes you'll see sea life. Oftentimes you just see bubbles and you're just like, you're hammering and you don't really understand what's happening and you think you might be moving in the wrong direction, and then you'll peek up and be like, oh no, it looks like the mass of humanity is still moving in this general direction.
Right.
Once you can see the turnaround boat, they had a sponsor for this boat for a long time. It used to be just a really nice sailboat, and then some years it'll be like 5 different small watercraft. I don't know what they're going to have out there this year, but you will swim around a boat or boats once you get to halfway. This is also the most important. There's 2 turns in the race. The second turn is the most important turn. If you can actually build and accelerate after the first turn for 50 meters, then make the second turn heading homeward bound or north. If you can push for 100 meters right there, that 150 meters is the best time to use your energy to re-accelerate and refocus your mind to the task at hand. That's also when the biggest breaks happen. It's also when the people who are didn't overcook the outbound section get separation.
Yep. Trying to think what else you need to know about this one. Go.
as you come back inbound and you're heading north, you'll get to, you'll be about 300 meters out and the water will start to cool again. You'll go through pockets of warm and cool water throughout the swim. Oddly enough, as you enter into the bay, the water gets cooler, and it's actually really refreshing. You'll be like, oh yes. When you're out into the sea, it does warm up, and it can give you, it can make you a little lethargic. If you can just think about turnover, trying to stay long, but with good turnover as much as possible, that's going to be your key thing. Turnover, turnover, turnover. Just trying to keep a steady turnover, stay on top of the water. The salt water is going to add to your buoyancy. So your position should be nice and level with the water and just thinking turnover, turnover, turnover. You'll get a reprieve about 300 meters cutting back in because the water will turn cool again and it'll be distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water temp changes year to year based on the amount of whales in the area and the whale urine excretion patterns. That's not true. That's not
false.
true at all. No, absolutely not.
I do know
no.
El Nino did affect the water temperature. I don't know what it is. It's been as warm as 86 and as cool as 78.
Did you say El Nino?
It was, was it El Nino and La Nina?
Yes, that's
okay.
perfect.
So it was La Nina that affected it one year. I have not been there when El Nino was a big.
You've been there for like 35 years, so how have you not been there during an El Nino year?
Maybe I was there.
You were. You were there before El Nino and La Nina were born.
Okay.
El Jefe was there then. All right. So the other thing to know, guys, is the buoys by the boats are the only ones you actually have to go around. Kayakers
Correct.
will try and push you outside or inside the buoys, but like if there's fresh water on the inside and you want it, take it. One year I got hit by a kayak and went under for a while, and I had to get around a ton of people, and I swam inside the buoys the whole way, and it was clear the whole way. So like, it's really just the 2-turn buoys you have to go around. Don't worry about it. The other thing is when you're coming into like the transition, like that area, you're gonna want to push right and just keep on kind of pushing left, and it'll get you right where you want to go. Have you had that experience or no?
Yes, absolutely. I think that on the outbound or south direction, when you start, if you start far east, you won't see a buoy for a good 700 meters, and that's okay.
Yep.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
All right. Any questions on the swim?
Okay. Yeah, I got 2 things on the swim. Number one is Raquel asked, what should we sight on the way back into shore? So you're not going to be able to see much until you're about 800, maybe a K out. And then you'll be able to see, you'll be able to see, like, there's a white tower that you can orient off of. And I would go off of either the white tower or you'll be able to see a little bit of the King Cam. But it's basically on Palani, see, because Palani, the road where Hot Corner is, it goes like directly up the face of the mountain. And you can see there's like a TV tower right there. You'll be able to make it out. That's kind of the thing I key off the most. But I use the buoys more in Hawaii than I do land markings. Yeah. So, and then lastly, Betsy asked, how do you stop it, seawater causing stomach issues? Is a great question. Usually seawater will upset your tummy, and it will actually cause problems that can rear their head maybe an hour, 2 hours later. So my biggest tip here is don't swallow seawater.
Oh, that was brilliant. So
yes.
I think the trick for that is a little more exhaling before you're going to take your breath. Right?
Yeah.
Would that help?
and I wouldn't panic about taking in seawater because it's inevitable, right? There's a lot of anxiety. There's a lot of quick, fast breaths. I think that when you get on land, try to go through a series of like kind of protocol that you have to get your tummy to settle back down. So it's water, then some calories, and a little bit of water. Try to get your body to settle down, just your tummy to settle down just a little bit. And if that means going to something fizzy a little early, that's okay, like Coca-Cola.
The other thing is you take every disadvantage or everything that could be difficult in your racing and whatever, and you turn it to an advantage. Stomach's feeling a little not so good, think you might throw up, just aim at a competitor and you're good to go. No problem.
Out with the bad, in with the good.
Exactly. Give them the bad.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
Maybe they'll get
we got the best advice. I'm a little off today. Sorry, guys. All right. Swim. Anything else? Let's see. Can I get that? Oh, wait, that's run. How about the bike? So first, transition's long. And when you come up the steps, watch your step because you could trip on those steps pretty easy. They're not awesome. You come up, you're going to have showers. Make sure you rinse yourself off because that seawater really chafes bad. If it stays on your suit, so don't rinse yourself. It's fine. You grab your bag, go into the changing tent, change whatever you need to do, and then you got to run all around the pier and find your bike. I usually try and forget where my bike is on purpose so that it's more of a game. It's like a Where's Waldo. You could do that if you want, extra challenge. You don't have to though. And then get out and get on the bike. So Andy, you want to talk about the bike?
Sure.
Cool. I'm going to move this so we can see. All right.
Okay, so the most amount of excitement is T1 and the first 10 miles on the bike. Gosh, it's so exciting. There's so much positivity in town. This is also where the biggest mistakes happen, okay? Because you are in like the trepidation has left your mind and body after you 5 minutes into the swim. Or maybe it's gone by the sailboat or the turnaround. You come in, the water's a little cooler. You're like, oh yeah. And now you feel the vibe from the pier. You can actually hear the crowd in the water with your face still in the water. It's that loud. Come out, you go through transition. You're like, I'm at the World Championships. This is fantastic. Let's dump all of my fuel in the next 10 minutes. So you just start shooting bullets in terms of your energy expenditure. So if you can remain calm, cool, collected all the way through town, going up Makala, down Palani, up Hualahai? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Yeah.
And then back up Palani. My biggest thing is I don't put any pressure on the pedals, especially on Palani. It feels so good to feel everybody's support. Just smile as you're going up it. Your competitors are going to want to hammer time through you. Don't worry. You'll see them at mile 50 and they'll have lit all their matches, right?
You'll see them before that.
Yeah. Even before, you'll see them at the airport.
Yeah.
Right. So in the airport's 10K away once you get up to the Palani. Is that right?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah. Because it's a little further because it's 10K from the, energy lab. So it's like an extra half mile.
Okay. So
wait, one thing real
really
quick.
Smart in town.
Yeah, so the other thing in town, besides watching your energy, is watch yourself because there's a lot of people who are excited. It's very easy to have a crash. Coming down Palani, the hot corner, is legit. Like you're coming down fast and it's a hard left. So just be careful of yourself, mindful of other people. The road conditions aren't always the best as well in town. So you got to watch your energy, watch other people, and just ride smart.
Yep. Okay. So as you get out onto the highway, I try to settle into your position as early as possible. Try to lay into your position. Try not to fight it. You'll have the sun will be really low, and it'll be cool on the way out. It'll feel really great until you get to about Waikoloa, and then it starts getting pretty warm. You'll be in the lava fields for a really long time. Once you're in it, you're in it. It does the scenery doesn't change too much. I love the fact that you can the Queen K is undulating, and I love how you can ride with momentum if you are familiar with the skills how to do it. So as you crest the hill, you accelerate, try to get up to speed as quickly as possible to use more speed on the descent. You don't put much pressure on the pedals as you're coming through the bottom of the descent into a roller uphill. I break it into thirds, and you'll have plenty of time to practice this technique, all on the Queen K. So it's cresting, gaining momentum quickly up to speed, then keep your feet moving, keep energy, keep using a little bit of pressure on the pedals if you can, if you have enough gears. Not a lot of energy on the first third, building the middle third, and cresting again on the top third. Just ride it like a bunch of hills.
You'll few things. You'll get to Waikoloa real fast. Like you're gonna be like, how am I here already? You'll even get to Hawi really fast. And you're like, what is going on right now? This happened really quickly. It's coming home that's always interesting and where you really need to focus your effort. Like everyone will talk about going out to Hawi and everything else and that climb to Hawi. It's from really Kauai High back that where the effort really is going to come into play, which we can
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
The highest point on the road is at mile 90.
Yeah.
And it is on the way home. It is a climb.
It is significant.
It's a scenic overlook at mile 90. And you don't want to dump every bit of fuel you have there because you still have 22 more miles to ride.
Yeah.
It's definitely significant. It can be a little lonely there as well.
Yeah.
The Hawi climb starts before you actually turn right. And you're climbing for a ways. I really think you should ride with momentum and not try to use too much energy on the descents and the bottom third of hills. And all action happens at Waikoloa and home.
Yep. Cool.
Yep.
So a few things to make note of. Going out to the scenic overlook on the way out is pretty substantial, but it's not nearly as bad as going back. Kauai High, where you make the left hand turn to go out to Hawi before the right. It's like a 3 mile descent with another right to go up to Hawi, and so it's pretty good right hand turn. And then you have that long steady climb up to Hawi. Nothing too serious. The only thing you get is those crosswinds. You will get the crosswinds when you're riding along the road and there's stone walls on the side, and then the stone wall stops and then starts again. So that's where you watch out for those crosswinds. Just kind of buckle down on your bike and ride, and you should be good. The more you pedal, especially coming downhill, the more control you'll be in. So when you're coming down from Hawi and you're going, there's a break in the wall, and like if you're pedaling, you're going to have more control of your bike always. And then coming out from Kauai High, it's again 2 to 3 mile, pretty good uphill. Like from there, it's pretty difficult. That section through Waikoloa and into that scenic overlook. That's where the race is really happening for you.
Yeah, you'll see a mile on this bottom thing where it says feet. You'll see it basically mile 78. You'll see that real steep uphill coming home on the gradient. That's Kauai High. And then at mile 90, you'll see a real steep gradient. That's the up to the scenic overlook. And Daniel's absolutely right. And about keeping pressure on the pedals on the descent. And then how do you know when the wind is going to gust a little more? If you kind of use your peripheral vision and you notice a little bit of a valley to this inland, the valley inland will be a difference in pressure for the atmosphere, and it will be a funnel for the wind. And so you know the crosswind is going to be heavier at all points along the Queen K, along the Kauai High Highway, and on the descent from Hawi.
The other way to know is you just watch the people in front of you go like this.
Oh yes,
and then you're good. You got it. You're planning for it.
Pressure on the pedals.
Yeah. And
Yep.
like Andy said, you're gonna have a lot of company going out the whole way. Most of you will. And because of that, it'll go faster. You got to watch like kind of the draft zones and everything in Hawaii, but it's really hard. Like the first year I raced Hawaii, I got passed once and I continued to get passed for about 20 minutes because there were just trains of people together. And so like if you ride completely by the letter of the law and completely drop all the way back, in some instances you're going to be sitting up for a long time. So just be smart, follow the rules, but also don't be dumb in the sense of like having to sit up for 20 minutes because the world is passing you, because that will happen if you let it happen. I'm trying to think what else. Any questions about the bike? Otherwise, um, it's really like Andy said, and I said, Kauai High back, Waikoloa back is where the race happens. There is no flat part on this entire course except for the swim. So just be ready for that. Be ready to move. Oh, Mike, great question. Oh, this is a good one. If I don't think Todd's on right now, but him and I argue about this all the time. Is this the best course to race with average power or normalized power and normalized power close to average power because of the climate of descent? Do you see a big gap in those numbers? Potts. So first, in general, should you race with average or normalized power? It completely depends on what you're comfortable with. I know a lot of people like Todd love normalized power. He knows he's normalized power. He knows it all. Me personally, I really know my average power numbers, and I know them even on a hilly course. So I race to what I know. Um, a course like this is very much set up to race with normalized power, though. And if you know it, right? That's the big thing. Potts, do you have your numbers in front of you? I don't know them off the top of my head how different average and normalized is on this course. I want to say it's still pretty close.
It's still then if okay, it matters on how you ride, because if you're able to apply pressure to the pedals on descents, the number will be a ton closer. If you're all about getting to the top of the hill, then having all your momentum just kind of peter out, and then you just wait for gravity and stop pedaling, well, yeah, you're going to have a huge differential. Also, not recommended to ride that way. Remember, we talked about you cresting, building momentum as quickly up to speed as possible so you can go faster when it's time to go fast on the descent, and you use gravity to your advantage, not gravity just because it's there.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say I've had it be as close as 5 to 6 watts and as disparate as 12 watts, but it's pretty close.
That's real close. Yeah. I mean, so the short answer is you want to race to what you know, but the number should still be close even on a course like this. This is why you actually see a lot of the pros and pretty good athletes, especially on the men's side, race with one buys or race with like 56, 57, 58 to cranks on this course, because then they can pedal through the descents, pedal through the flat sections, and keep the speed up.
This is the course where I learned to do that.
Yeah.
Because I was riding a 53 in the early years. I was getting geared out, and I changed and started riding 55s and didn't get geared out.
It makes a big difference.
Yep. Now I ride a 52 one by.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like a boss.
Word.
Yeah. If you didn't understand what we're saying, it's cool. We can help you.
Correct.
He's like,
all right.
Science, math, Latin, go.
All right. Hit me with the run.
You want the run? No, this is death march. I'm only kidding. This is the best run ever. Go for it.
Okay. The run. You're going to come into T2 and you're kind of cooked. You can, just like other Ironmans, you can give your bike away to bike catchers. The big thing here is just having a little bit of wherewithal to put your feet on the ground and use the bike as a point of leverage for you to regain some stability while you're on the ground. If you hand the bike off right away and don't lean on it at all, you're going from weight supported
What?
What?
Wait, hold on. No bike catchers? What kind of
What?
garbage is this? Hey, cancel your flight, cancel our registration.
For
Well,
reals?
yeah.
No way.
That was my favorite part. I tell the guy, take the bike and don't give it back.
Yeah, I don't want it back. I don't want to see it. No
Yeah,
way.
ever
Okay.
again.
Okay, fine. No bike catchers. Lean on your bike. Use it. Lean on it. That's actually can be good. It can be good. It can be a good thing. So I say to this, good. I want to use my bike for leverage, so I get my feet back underneath me in a safe manner.
See what you just did? You took a disadvantage and made it an advantage. We're
What?
learning.
Yes.
What? Amazing.
Amazing.
Recall.
All right. So heading out on Leahy, the best part of the run, for sure. I want to say you're going out for 3.5 miles, and you're doing about 7 miles on a Leahy. They used to have you on there for 10 or more. Very little. I've expressed my discontent with Ironman. I told them they need to send us out longer on Leahy. Whatever.
Or less.
Yeah, they don't care about user experience. Anyway,
Tell us what you really think.
So be real smart. You need to go. What I would like to do is I wait about 20 minutes before I start doing a ton of fuel and getting into the fueling strategy. I like my body to kind of resettle and change its blood flow patterns. So it's about 20 minutes to do it. And I use aid stations for cooling first, fueling second.
Wait, quick question, clarification on this though. Does that 20 minutes include the 18 minutes you took to put on your socks during the race?
No, because I'm sitting down to do that.
Okay, so it doesn't count. Okay, just
No. Yeah.
sure. Right.
What I like to do is create a gap on the bike.
Oh
and
yeah.
give it all away by standing still in transition.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's actually a good plan. It works really well.
It's one of my favorite ways to like handicap myself and make things harder.
Yeah.
So okay, so cool, then fuel on aid stations. There are tons of them. It helps for you to call out what you like as well. But oftentimes you get the hang of it after the third aid station. You kind of get the hang of the pattern. It is standardized, so it goes water, Gatorade, cola, snacks, cola, water, Gatorade, ice. Sometimes ice can be bookended, and it'll be at both ends. I really do take in everything I can on the Leahy without trying to overrun. And I use Palani. Again, you're going up Palani. I use Palani to try to take as many steps as possible while moving up without doing a lot of powerful steps, just quick, snappy ones. And then I get out onto the Queen K, and that's where the real running begins. I try to use the undulating nature of the run to, again, run with momentum, take advantage of a longer stride on the descents, but still trying to maintain stride rate on the when the road starts to climb. And
can I jump in real quick? Here, is that cool?
Yep.
All right, sorry to interrupt. All right, so a couple things to note. When you leave transition, it is uphill. It's going to feel like a big hill. It's not, but you get such a good crowd. On a Leahy, you think a Leahy's flat. It goes up and down a bit, but use the crowd to help you use your momentum. Here's the biggest thing. Everyone can run great to Palani, especially when it was 10 miles. I mean, now it's even easier, but like everyone can run great to Palani. Don't feel bad when people go by you or you're going by them. Like, don't put any stock in it. It's when you get up off of Palani, back onto the Queen K, that the racing and everything starts to shake out. It's really on the way back, but just like Andy said, like cool, then fuel, and worry about those things, and you're gonna have a great day. Go Pot. Yep. Sorry.
Yep. No. The energy lab is a long time. You'll spend a fair amount of time in the energy lab. It doesn't feel like it's downhill into the turnaround, but it is. And then it's an uphill run on the way back. This is when the most amount of movement happens. Everybody loves to be like, okay, I'm at the one. If I dig as hard as I can coming out of the energy lab, I'm good to go. Well, you have more than 10K to go by the time you get to the top. The real running starts at the top of the energy lab on the way back. If you can you don't even have to accelerate. Just don't slow down. Who can slow down the slowest on that last 10K is the biggest kicker of the race. Cool than fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, the only other things I would say is like you'll have great crowds all in town.
Yep.
Up Palani, and then they'll start to dissipate, and you'll still have a crowd up until I want to say it's the gas station. So it's about I want to say 11 now, give or take 10 or 11 mile 10 or 11, and then there's a no spectator zone the rest of the way out to the energy lab and back to that spot. So just get real comfortable with yourself and your thoughts and make them good ones, and you'll be good to go.
Yep, it's just like how you do your training. Sometimes it can be a little lonely, but what you do when no one looking, when no one's looking, is the true statement of your character. So you'll come back in down Palani at mile 25. It feels awesome on your knees, and then mile 25 is on Palani. So you still have a mile to go. You'll hear the crowd. You'll hear the announcer calling athletes in. And all the, kind of congratulating all the ladies. And you have to go hard left for another half mile before you get to turn around and come back down into Palani. So you have a mile left. It's not just down Palani and to the finish chute. You still have a mile to go. Cool. That's what I got.
Word. All right. Any questions about Kona?
Okay. Some good stuff in the comments. Oh, Connor, good question. 54 1 by 12 speed versus 54 1 by 11 speed. I don't know the answer, but there's an app for that. I think 52-11 is more gears.
Yeah, I can't do it in my head, but as I mentioned in the comments, Connor, you are a one-on-one athlete, and one-on-one athletes receive VIP service. Everyone else take note. I will look that up for you and figure it out. That's what happens when you're taken care of by AP Racing. Let's go.
Okay, Dan, I would like to hear your picks. Top 3.
Ooh, I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit here. Not really, just a little bit. I'm gonna go Taylor Knibb, Daniela, and Annie.
Okay. Like it.
Yeah. How about you, Potts?
Okay. I'm going. Gosh. I'm going a repeat Chelsea.
Okay.
Annie Haug, Taylor Knibb.
Okay.
I'm going to say no Daniela, but I could be way off and she could win.
Yeah, I mean, I could be off and she goes 25th. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
DNFs. Like, I'm not so sure.
Yep. She can either win or 17.
Yes, there's no in between. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I don't really have anything else. Team business. Dude, we got an awesome group this year. It's fantastic. Sending stuff out by the day. Someone asked about team uniforms, and we're going to open the store. It'll probably be one of the last weeks in October. We just have to finalize some partners before we do that, and then we'll open that up then. The other thing is camps. We will open it up to the public in the next couple weeks too. So sign up before we do that, because that's like a mad rush. and we sell out within faster than a Taylor Swift concert.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
go. The Eras Tour.
Yes.
Yes.
That makes you your cultural referencing is making you very relevant today, Dan.
I'm trying my best, you know. Team store code. So that you're probably talking about the one on our website. That one's actually open to the public. Not open to the public. It doesn't need a code right now. But I want to say it's like get some 24. I can send that out again though. It was in your registration. But it is open right now. That store's gonna get completely updated with a bunch of new stuff. We're also going to do a special Wahoo order pretty soon, maybe even better discounts. We also, Andy and I are working on a casual line for all of you guys.
Ooh,
Yeah,
casual.
I'm talking like nice stuff too. Like it's so nice. You want to wear it to work when you do business meetings. It'd be really good. Wendy, we have all the hoodies. I'll put them up on the site. So yeah, it's gonna be really good. Casual, not casual. I love business meetings.
Yeah, meetings are my favorite. I know everybody else's favorite.
Yeah.
I love the vote for Sarah True. That's fun. I've known Sarah for a really long time. Who said Sarah True?
He's fantastic.
Wendy.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening for her, but it'd be fun if it did.
Yeah. Lucy's an interesting call because there's a lot of good swimmers this year. And so she might have some people to help her. But I don't see it. But
I don't know. Yeah, like Lucy's a tough one for me. I love the way she races, and like the fact that she's a complete triathlete now is fantastic. Dude, she could just push power and go.
Yeah.
Taylor, she'll have a partner in Taylor.
Yeah, that's what I think they can get away together and stay away. That's what I was thinking about.
And I could see Taylor being totally exploited and Lucy using her.
Yes, I agree as well.
Her naivete, you know?
Yep. And Tara, that's my other dark horse too. Andy Cat Matthews.
Oh.
Yeah, she's legit.
Yep.
Exciting. Super exciting. Yeah, that's what we got. Not too much team stuff. We're just like, hold on a second. We're just like getting our bearings here as everyone's starting to sign up and get going. So like these next couple weeks are super weird. There are people coming in and whatever. For anyone that's on the call that hasn't paid or joined up for the year and you're in our Facebook group, you're gonna get axed. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's the purge, which happens when you get out of the water, Betsy, from salt water. That's what's happening. Yeah.
Too soon, Daniel. Too soon.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. That's why I don't go to business meetings.
just pull that pin.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Walk away.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone got any other questions or thoughts? Hope you got something out of this, especially people who aren't racing Kona. Oh, here's one for you. Everyone that's racing Kona, you can close your ears. Everyone that's not. If you're not racing Kona and you really want to, just take a flight to LA, okay? And just ride your bike 100. Go swim first in Santa Monica. Then ride your bike 112 miles, like right outside Vegas, and just run the rest of the way in. It's pretty much the same thing. I promise. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some more questions here. Swim skin, Connor, yes. Yes, swim skin. Which hoop swim skin, yeah.
Lube and lube.
Yeah. Ooh. Dude, that rhymes. You're like Dr. Seuss.
What?
Oh, hey now. Okay. Specific meeting for the crew. Yes, Jeff, you'll get a invite in the next couple days for that. And we'll go over some things.
Daniel, I've noticed that these are what are these meetings? They've been more fun lately. We've been, taking that excitement level up, and I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay. if people don't think this is exciting, then we've just really missed the mark by you putting it out there that we are making it more exciting. But you're right.
It almost asks, what were we doing before, and why were we on a log?
We're being pretty lame.
Yeah, but now we're not lame. We're exciting. We're taking it up a notch.
So tell everyone we're super exciting. We're not businessmen anymore. We're exciting men.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's what I got.
Anything else? Tara, you're still riding your bicycle. I love it.
Yeah. Are you Zwifting?
Swifting and listening to us?
Oh my God, you must have a good internet connection. Let's go. Are you controlling your power yourself, or do you let the computer control your power? Thumbs up if you're doing it.
ERG.
Oh,
I'm cooling down. This is my last ride.
Wait, ERG is confusing though. Is it Zwift ERG or Wahoo ERG? Because they mean totally different things.
I'm on Zwift, so Zwift is controlling the train.
Okay, so that's a thumbs down. No, I'm only kidding. It's fine. It's totally good. Oh man, yeah. So everyone, be on the lookout. We are going to do a Zwift team, and it's going to be super fun. I should probably get a trainer to do that. It could be great.
If we could get Daniel on a trainer, I don't know if that's a victory or we've broken him so much that he will ride indoors. Is that winning or losing for you, Daniel?
I mean, anytime you're moving, it's winning.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you're moving, it's winning.
But I feel like your spirit might be breaking.
100%. 100%.
Daniel will ride his bike outside in -40 just to not ride inside. But he'll totally get it in outside.
Oh yeah. I hate the trainer. It's awful.
It's the best.
It's because I push like 30 watts on the trainer. I can't figure out why. No matter what I do. And it's really
I know why.
Why?
Because you're soft.
Super soft. That's what yeah. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. You know who's not soft? The ladies going to Kona.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All
right, ladies going to Kona, you will get an email. I think I'm going to send it out to everyone because I don't know everyone that's going. Email, Facebook post, bunch of stuff with the calendar. Be on the lookout for it. Your teammates did an awesome job putting stuff together. Kudos to them.
It is Thursday and the race is Saturday, so I hope you're already in.
Next Saturday, Andy. Get with the times.
My bust.
I just got you a week in your life back.
That was amazing. For real, I thought it was this Saturday.
No, it's 2023 still too. You're only 75 years old. It's cool.
All right. The grays are coming in on the beard. Oh.
Yeah. I heard your competitors are scared of that.
No, what they're really scared of is the bald spot that they can't quite see because they're too short.
Bro, this is not a therapy session. Don't tell them about it. It's cool. All right. I think it's time to go. We're unraveling here.
All right. You can see.
All right. Good seeing everyone. Nice seeing you, Chris, Sarah. Twos.